The clash at Haldighati between Maharana Pratap and the Mughal Emperor Akbar was a pivotal moment in Indian history, representing not just a physical battle, but a profound ideological conflict. Maharana Pratap, the Rajput king of Mewar, symbolized unwavering resistance and valor, fiercely defending his kingdom against the expansionist ambitions of Akbar, who sought to consolidate the vast Indian subcontinent under Mughal rule. This confrontation was not merely about territorial control, it epitomized the broader struggle between regional independence and imperial unification. Understanding this conflict provides valuable insights into the resistance dynamics against imperial forces, illustrating the complexity and diverse perspectives within India's historical tapestry. The significance of this conflict lies in its symbolic power, representing the staunch opposition to external domination. Maharana Pratap became a legendary figure in Indian lore, embodying the spirit of resistance and patriotic fervor, while Akbar's attempts at diplomacy showcased his intent to establish a centralized empire imbued with cultural and religious tolerance. Despite the eventual Mughal victory, the Battle of Haldighati in 1576 showcased Maharana Pratap's strategic acumen and his indomitable will, inspiring future generations to value autonomy and cultural heritage. For instance, Maharana Pratap's refusal to submit to Akbar's suzerainty and his subsequent guerrilla warfare tactics are studied in military history as exemplary strategies of resistance against more powerful foes. Additionally, Akbar's use of diplomacy and alliances with other Rajput chiefs highlights his sophisticated approach to empire building, balancing military might with conciliatory governance to achieve political integration and stability. Supporters of Maharana Pratap laud his courage and commitment to sovereignty, viewing him as a national hero who prioritized freedom over potential security under Mughal rule. On the other hand, admirers of Akbar point to his efforts in promoting syncretism and administrative reforms, portraying him as an enlightened ruler seeking unity among India's diverse populations. However, this historical episode is not without controversy. Some critics argue that the glorification of Maharana Pratap undermines the more nuanced aspects of Akbar's rule, which included significant contributions to Indian culture and administration. Additionally, differing regional narratives often skew perceptions of either figure based on contemporary socio-political lenses. Ultimately, the introduction to this conflict serves as a foundation for understanding the broader narrative of Maharana Pratap and Akbar's encounters, influencing discussions around leadership, resistance, and empire in the context of Indian history. This episode sheds light on how regional defiance and empire-building strategies have shaped historical interpretations and national identity in India. The Battle of Haldighati, fought on June 18, 1576, stands as a significant episode in Indian history, illustrating the intense altercations between the mighty Mughal Empire under Emperor Akbar and the valiant Rajputana, led by Maharana Pratap of Mewar. The backdrop of this iconic confrontation revolves around the increasing expansionist policies of Akbar, who wielded an ambition to consolidate the fragmented Indian subcontinent under Mughal rule. This particular battle emphasizes the fierce resistance posed by the Rajputs against Mughal sovereignty, marking a pivotal point illustrating their unwavering quest for autonomy and honor. In exploring the background and causes, it is important to understand the fortitude embedded in Rana Pratap's resistance. The significance of Haldighati lies not merely in the military tactics or the outcome, but in the embodiment of Rajput valor and the resilient defense of indigenous culture against foreign hegemony. Maharana Pratap refused to accept Akbar's suzerainty, driven by a commitment to preserve Mewar's independence and cultural identity. Two striking reflections of this sentiment include Maharana Pratap's persistent refusal to submit despite strategic disadvantages and his efforts to rally a coalition of Rajput allies to counter the Mughal encroachment. Real-world applications of this battle reflect in modern discussions of resistance against overpowering domination and in preserving cultural integrity amidst globalization. The battle serves as an emblem for regional pride, inspiring leaders who confront imperialistic forces with limited resources. A historic David versus Goliath scenario. Supporters of the Rajput cause often view this battle as a narrative of heroism and moral victory that exemplifies sacrifice for autonomy, motivating nationalist sentiments. However, a potential challenge arises in the varying narratives surrounding the motivations and outcomes. Some historians argue that the battle was more symbolic in nature rather than a substantial military confrontation, posing alternative viewpoints regarding the strategic significance. Moreover, the events of Haldighati factors into the larger discourse of Rajput-Mughal engagements, influencing subsequent treaties and altercations that shape the geopolitical and cultural landscape of the region. This confrontation keeps nuanced discussions alive about the complexity of resistance and submission during the Mughal reign in India. Through these dimensions, the background and causes of the Battle of Haldighati unravel as a tapestry of rich historical significance, influencing subsequent historical narratives and serving as a focal point for cultural reflection and scholarly debate. The military strategies and preparations of both Maharana Pratap and Emperor Akbar before the Battle of Haldighati exhibit a fascinating study in contrasting tactics and resource management, highlighting the broader dynamics of their historic clash. This battle, fought in 1576, was a pivotal moment in Indian history that underscored the deep-seated tension and power struggles between the Mughal Empire and the Rajput kingdoms. On one side, Akbar, the Mughal emperor, employed a strategy characterized by overwhelming numbers, superior artillery, and well-coordinated cavalry units. The Mughals had access to vast resources and utilized them effectively, including war elephants and a diverse composition of fighters from various regions, which showcased the inclusivity and reach of Akbar's empire. The significance of this point lies in illustrating how imperial power can harness its resources to exert military dominance, emphasizing the importance of logistics, adaptability, and integration of diverse military units in warfare. In contrast, Maharana Pratap's strategy was rooted in guerrilla warfare tactics and the utilization of the difficult terrain of the Aravalli range. Pratap, aware of his numerical disadvantage, focused on maximizing the element of surprise and leveraging his force's knowledge of the local geography. The Rajputs, renowned for their valor, were able to use their intimate understanding of the terrain to counter the Mughal forces' superior numbers, signifying the importance of tactical ingenuity in asymmetric warfare. A real-world application of these strategies can be seen in contemporary military history, where terrain and guerrilla tactics have played central roles in conflicts such as the Vietnam War, highlighting the effectiveness of unconventional warfare against larger forces. Similarly, the use of a diverse military force mirrors modern practices in coalition warfare. Opinions regarding these strategies often celebrate Maharana Pratap's valor and strategic acumen as emblematic of resistance against imperialism, while others admire Akbar's ability to forge a formidable, diverse military machine. However, challenges arise with the romanticization of resistance, potentially overlooking the harsh realities faced by his soldiers. This clash of strategies not only influenced the outcome at Haldighati, but also set a precedent for future engagements in the region, affecting the socio-political landscape. It transcended beyond a mere battle, marking a symbolic resistance that has continued to inspire generations. Thus, the military strategies serve as a critical reflection of the larger conflict, illustrating how military tactics and preparedness are pivotal elements influencing the course of history. The Battle of Haldighati, fought on June 18, 1576, stands as a significant event in Indian history, marking the fierce clash between Maharana Pratap, the valiant Rajput ruler of Mewar, and the Mughal Emperor Akbar, represented by his general Raja Man Singh. This encounter was not just a military confrontation, but a symbol of resistance against Mughal imperialism. It highlighted the intense struggle for sovereignty and the pride of Rajputana against an expanding empire. This battle holds particular significance as it underscored Maharana Pratap's unwavering commitment to Mewar's independence and his refusal to submit to Akbar's dominance. Unlike many Rajput rulers of the time, who capitulated to Mughal suzerainty for the sake of political stability, Maharana Pratap's defiance became emblematic of Rajput courage and patriotism. Although the battle didn't decisively alter the balance of power in favor of either side, the spirit of resistance it embodied left a lasting legacy that continued to inspire generations in India. One specific example illustrating the Battle of Haldighati's impact is the iconic image of Maharana Pratap's horse, Chetak, which has become legendary for his bravery in the battle, symbolizing loyalty and sacrifice. Another example is the guerrilla warfare tactics used by the Rajputs, showing their ingenuity in countering a numerically and technologically superior force. These tactics would later influence other resistance movements against imperial forces in the Indian subcontinent. However, the narrative of Haldighati is not without its controversies. Some historians argue that the impact of the battle is over-romanticized, pointing out that it resulted in a tactical stalemate rather than a clear victory. Critics suggest that nationalism and regional pride have amplified its significance over the years. This viewpoint challenges the traditional narrative but doesn't diminish the symbolic power that Maharana Pratap's resistance holds in the collective memory. The Battle of Haldighati also connects to broader aspects of the Maharana Pratap versus Akbar saga by highlighting the enduring theme of the struggle for autonomy. It illustrates the diffusion of power between indigenous resistance and centralized authority, laying groundwork for understanding the complexities of Indian resistance against foreign domination. This battle encapsulates the clash of wills and ambitions between these two titans of history, reflecting the broader geopolitical and cultural tensions present in India during the Mughal era. Through its multifaceted implications, the Battle of Haldighati remains a cornerstone in the narrative of Rajput valor and resistance against Mughal expansion.